Now to the COVID crisis. It was 2 years ago today we learned of the first COVID patient in Illinois. A woman in her 60s, recently back from Wuhan, China. She was treated at St. Alexius Medical Center in Hoffman Estates. CBS 2's Chris Tye is live for us there tonight. Chris, you spoke to some of those who treated that patient and remember a mad scramble.
It was a mad scramble 24 months ago, Brad, to the day. It's when staff here say it was the singular, oh my God moment of my career. That's what they're telling us today. Let's put ourselves back in that mindset of January 2020. Vaccines were still a year out, and we didn't know, frankly, whether this pandemic was going to be measured in weeks, months, or years.
Back in January 2020, rapid tests took days. Every test went through the CDC in Atlanta. And through these doors in Hoffman Estates walked our state's first patient.
It was really tough trying to damp down the fear as well as trying to take care of the patients.
Was the fear in your building during that stretch of time on behalf of the other patients, the staff, the federal agents there? Who was scared exactly?
Yes, everyone, everyone. Even we had the media would come in. The media didn't want to come into our building.
Their building wasn't ready, but no building was. Isolation units, negative airflow rooms, cobbled together, all as the CDC camped out in their basement.
We needed scotch tape, bubble gum, and masking tape. It was terrible. We weren't prepared at that time, and I don't think anybody across the world was prepared for what we were going to see.
Dr. Linwood Jones treated Illinois' first patient, who was just the second in the whole country. Her husband would become patient 6. Both weathered it well, leaving within weeks.
We actually had a party, almost like Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead type of thing. Our COVID patients were gone. We were feeling good. Oh, we did a great job, and everybody was patting themselves on the back. It was euphoric, really, in February until the hammer hit in the spring.
Cases soared, deaths followed. In the 24 months since that first case, 2.8 million more cases followed in Illinois alone. That's 22% of our state's population. At this moment, the question remains, what's next?
And every time you think it's going away, it rears its ugly head again.
We asked the doctor what stands out most to him over these last 24 months. Brad, an interesting answer came out of his mouth. He said, back in January of 2020, fear gripped this community and every community. And now it is anger, a pointed anger. He says there are still needs on the front here in the hospital. They still would like to have more testing and more support for treatment. But it's that pivoting mentality that really cuts through the clutter for him.
Yeah, a hard pivot at that, Chris. The timeline, it's often tricky to remember, but there was a lull. I think the doctor even referenced that, almost celebration after patient 0 here, if you will. Lull in cases right after that first case, before the onslaught, right?
That's right. That January day is what we're talking about. 2 years ago today, obviously, in January. That was the first patient, and then her husband, the 6th patient in the country. And then there was a lull in February where they thought maybe this thing was over, but then March kicked right back up, and then April, May, that whole springtime. We remember the NBA got canceled. Tom Hanks had it. It was really staring us squarely in the face. He said that, when we were still 8 months away from a vaccine, was the hardest part of all.
Yeah. Chris Tye, our thanks tonight.